Hello, I'm Brian Calandra, managing partner here at Ramos Law, and welcome to another episode of House of Law. Today we're going to talk about a concept known as the eggshell rule, and talking a little bit more about what it means when you get in an accident and you have a pre-existing medical condition. Stay tuned. Today we're going to talk about the eggshell rule. What it basically means is that if you cause an injury to someone by not paying attention, being negligent, whatever it is, then you take your, let's call it victim, as you find them. Okay? This becomes really important with people that have pre-existing medical conditions. Now in the law we call it the eggshell rule or the thin skull rule. Here would be a great example of how it could play out. Let's say you're negligent, you make a mistake, and you accidentally cut somebody. And the person you cut happens to be a hemophiliac, and they bleed out and die. Now, your defense to that might be, well, listen, I didn't know that person was a hemophiliac. You can't hold me responsible for that. The law says otherwise. The law says, no, you're going to take your victim as you find them, and you're going to be responsible for whatever harms that you cause. Now, where we see this a lot in the practice of law in the injury context is with folks that have pre-existing medical conditions. Let's take, for example, someone that has had a prior spine surgery. Worst thing for that person is to get into a car crash, right? Their spine has already been compromised. They're going to be more susceptible to injury. And the defense might come in and say, well, wait a minute. You already had some back pain before. You have back pain now. We're not paying for that. Well, that's where the eggshell plaintiff rule comes in to help you if you're in one of those situations. That's where your doctor can be very helpful in those situations because your doctor was treating you before the crash, your doctor was treating you after the crash, and your doctor can do a great job of explaining how things have changed. How have things gotten worse? Whereas before, for example, maybe I was able to walk a mile without having any pain. Now I can't even get to a half a mile. I can't be on my feet in the kitchen as long to provide food for my family. I can't reach into the washer and dryer to do the clothes like I used to because now my spine injury is worse than it was before. And we see this time and time again in the injury practice where the defense is trying to say, look, they were injured before, they're injured now, who cares? Well, that's not what the law says. The law says that if things have gotten worse, then the person that's responsible for making things worse has to make it right. So that's how the eggshell rule works. Happy to answer any questions that you have about it. Thank you so much for stopping by for another episode of House of Law. I'm managing partner Brian Calandra. You take care.